8:32 the time, 28 minutes shy of 9 o'clock. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Mornings with Ed show. My thanks once again to Mayor Sue Kemp for stepping in this morning for our regular Thursday conversation. And I've been telling you about this all week and teasing this all week. Another important conversation over a legal dispute that's been happening for quite some time in town. Mo Honarkar is a businessman here in Laguna Beach who started building businesses in town in the 90s and has lived here in town for over 25 years. We welcome him in for a conversation. He has just recently filed a lawsuit. That lawsuit includes, as a defendant, Councilman Mark Orgill for damages incurred as a result of conduct from Mr. Orgill. We're here to talk to Mr. Honarkar about that. Thank you very much for coming in this morning, Mr. Honarkar.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much for I want to go over the lawsuit itself and the filing itself, but I want to understand how this relationship started with Mr. Orgill.
Sure. Back in 2015-16, I was buying properties in town since I sold my old business, which one of them was in town. As you all know, I had retail, Verizon Wireless, a chain of them, over 160 stores at some point. So as I'm purchasing some different properties, the first one was Royal Hawaiian, actually, and the land goes with it. I got a tip from a broker that 7 Degrees, another building in the Art District, at Sunset Cove, and another couple more as a package is for sale. So when I went in to look at it, and Mark Orgill was involved with the lady who owns it, and he had some percentage, I believe, in that, and he was managing for them. So that's where the first time I met Mr. Mark Orgill.
Okay. And it was a good relationship at first?
Yeah, actually, it's a really good relationship, and, we basically, after I closed the transaction, Dora Orgill was managing 7 Degrees, and I asked her to stay manage. And shortly after that, I inquired Arthur Fair Building, and he was with me when I also inquired Hive Shopping Center, which was a shut-down place.
Right.
And I met with late June Neptune, who was managing Arthur Fair in Cross the Street restaurant, Urban Terrace, and I was able to inquire where we call it today, Terra.
Right.
So Mark was with me. He was very instrumental, nice guy, and his task was just making sure everything we do in town is conformed with the city, making sure entitlement, permits, everything is, because I was so busy with other businesses also. So It was, for me, a gift that I have someone like him.
Right.
So things were doing very well. And unfortunately, when my divorce hit and we got a receivership for 4 months to run the 39 companies that I had at the time, and things were sour on that time.
Right. And the lawsuit itself claims that Mr. Orgill, who, by the way, we have reached out to have him come in and refute any of these claims or talk about this, that he had repeatedly and continuously engaged in conduct to undermine your efforts to complete various projects here. And you claim that much of this conduct has taken place behind closed doors, and it's been difficult to catch him in the act of doing this.
Sure.
And now, however, he's received, according to the lawsuit, improper monies from Continuum Analytics. And you recently won a court order forcing Continuum Analytics to open their books. Will that opening of their books reveal this?
Yes, we have a judgment against them.
Okay.
And in fact, if they don't, they have provided some documents, and the rest they have another few days. We give them extension. And if that doesn't happen next week, we file in contempt against them. So they have to open the books. All these LLCs are my LLCs, so they have no choice but opening the books. And that's why they attacked me. They took over Hotel Laguna by force, by gun, and by securities, and March 31st. I mean, everybody knows that.
Right.
As soon as I follow the document, say I need the books and records, this needs to be open, boom. He called me up. He said, if you don't take your complaint back, this is Mahander Maghjani who runs the Continuum.
Okay.
I'll make your life miserable. I'll make sure nobody in this town likes you anymore. Because I know he has done shady stuff. There's no question. Otherwise, if you partner with somebody, books has to be open to your partner.
Right. How did that partnership happen?
That happened because of Nanobank is the bank, one branch bank that I was banking for a while. I know the president of the bank at the time. And when I was finally settled on my divorce, got out, the receiver, unfortunately, on purpose, didn't renew my line credit that I had with the, Loan Corps is the company that I was with.
Right.
It was in north of $130 million. It wasn't pocket change,
Right.
but I had options to renew. He on purpose didn't renew the loan. So that comes due, and I have to pay settlement for my ex.
Right.
So I was looking for a new partnership or bank loan.
Right.
So he found out through the bank, this is what I'm doing. The bank person actually put us together. At the beginning, he was a nice guy. I didn't go research him back. I had no idea. Since 2008, this is what they do. They go in and buy, notes and foreclose on people and do things. I call it shady. I don't know. This is up to the court to find out for now.
Right.
Well, for now, we're very good position with them because we got the judgment. The judge said the main issue is they borrowed $20 million on Holiday Inn before they become my partner, okay? And they use that money as their capital, which is a big no.
Right.
This judge in L.A. was so smart. He found out all this thing. He put the notes, even though that wasn't on reason we were there. We were for books and records. He says, you guys could not get this loan. This is very bad.
Right.
So with that in mind, and they also sold some portion of the two hotels to third party to help them with 1031 exchange. And as soon as we find out, they reversed it, but it still is there.
Right.
These are all illegal. And I have no doubt I'm going to win this one.
Right.
All I want is partnership with Resist. And if I owe them any money, I'm more than happy to write them a check. And if they owe me money, they should write it. That's where we are.
Okay. All right. And according to the lawsuit, Mark Orgill ensured that the Laguna Beach City Council complied with their general wishes surrounding the leadership control. Is that true?
Yes. So his involvement with my businesses after he became a city council, I actually, with a good suggestion from Mr. Bob Weiland, I sat down with Mark. I said, hey, you submitted all this bad thing. You went into labor board. You knew you're a 1099 outside contractor or independent.
Right.
But he went to labor board filing that I was employee. He didn't pay me.
Right. He was unsuccessful in that claim.
Yes,
is that
exactly.
correct?
He worked for me at 2.5 years. He demanded $350,000 retirement. How in the hell? Who has that kind of retirement and getting for 2 or 3 years?
Right.
All he was getting $20,000 a month. This every month has been paid, and I promised him if he get any of these hotels approved, he get big bonus for that.
Right.
So he took that word that I'm getting this bonuses. He documented, and hasn't got any approval. He now coming in and said, "This is the money owed to me, and if you don't pay me, this is what I'm going to do to you." So not only he worked for 4G Ventures, which was my company.
Right.
Then after I sat with him, I said, hey, if I owe you money, prove it to me what expenses you have, and I'm more than happy to pay. So unfortunately, his wife went into any doors they can find and submitted $50,000 expenses that they couldn't back it up.
Right.
So I said, if you can't back it up, well, how do I know? Because this is for 3 years ago. How could you sit down on something for 3 years and not submit it?
Right.
So everything is bogus. What he's doing is trying to damage my reputation in town. I know as a city council, kudos to him, but what he has done is wrong, and people doing the wrong thing, they should be punished.
Okay. And just to be clear, after a hearing on the merits of his claim against you with the Department of Labor, the Labor Commissioner asked him to provide additional information, and that was never provided.
No.
Okay. Okay. And also, according to the lawsuit, in later communications with counsel for the city, who at the time was Phil Cohn, you're claiming that it was clear the police department was not doing either what the court instructed or what the Laguna Beach Council was instructing. Instead, they were acting pursuant to the directions of Mr. Orgill. Did Mr. Cohn specifically allude to this to you, and will he be called as a witness in this case?
I'm sure he will, but where we are with this, this is tenancy right in California. If you live in a house or you're running any business, you have tenancy right. It doesn't have to be me or anybody else. Even landlord cannot come in to kick you out. You have to go to the proper court. We live in a country that has a law regulations. This group doesn't believe in the law regulations, correct? So they come in on the 31st of March, attack me. I called my attorney and said, Mo, just come outside. Let's go file proper documentation. This is what you got to do. So I didn't make a fuss out of it. Most people didn't understand it. But supposedly Miss Sue Kim goes into the hotel to find out why they have a security guard. As a curiosity, there's nothing wrong with that. And she sees that these people there saying, oh, we are the owners. They're not. So anyhow, she invited them to the city to come talk to the city manager and city attorney. And that's when things went wrong. So these people got away to go to the city, which shouldn't. And they met Mark Orgill there. And Mark Orgill, knowing he wants to destroy me, who basically went in cajon with them. Okay? And in fact, this is not he say, she say. I asked my business partner, I said, what the hell are you going with this guy? He said, well, we knew nobody in this town. He came in our lap, we took him.
Okay.
That's exactly. Settle with me, I give his head on the silver plate, deliver it to you. So that means, settle with me, I'll let it go.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't know who he's dealing with.
Right.
Okay, unfortunately, but that's what it is.
Okay. And the courts, as we mentioned, are forcing them to open their books, Continuum and Analytics. What else are you hoping that will reveal?
So remember, we talk about $20 million loan, which I had no idea. The Department of Justice and regulator got on that bank, Nanobank, later on in 2000. This happened 2021. In 2022, they find out that this bank is doing shady work and give people, shareholders, loan without recording on any title. Right. So they get back up. This is a public record. You can look at it. So one of the loan was this loan. So this was eventually recorded. That's how I found out about it. As a good partner, I took him to my attorney office, which helps both of them, us at the time, and say, hey, explain to us, what is this loan? Why were you able to get funded before you even be my partner? That was my property. How could you even sign something?
Using your property as collateral to get a loan.
Exactly.
Right.
He had no explanation. Then we send him more legal documents, say, hey, you got to explain this. And he said, if you don't take this complaint back, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I'm not a chicken. I'll sit down and I let the legal to handle it. This belongs to the court. That's what I was keep talking to people last 2 years. Just be patient. Court would eventually get to it. It takes time. Justice will come, but unfortunately it takes time.
Right. Okay. And the lawsuit further alleges that from approximately April 2017 through August of 2020, Mark Orgill was retained through one of your entities as the lead consultant to assist in all kinds of tasks related to your management and development of your portfolio assets. And he sold himself as an expert in these matters and insisted upon being an independent contractor in this relationship. How did he land on your radar? We covered that, but how closely did you scrutinize his qualifications?
Obviously, at the time, I didn't even ask the exiting family, his experience. I took his word. And a lot of people in town knows him, obviously. Right. And I had no idea he would someday have different agenda. And he brought some good consultant to work with us. One of them was Paul Freeman. Okay. And so things was good. And then Paul Freeman is the one that put an ad on the paper or whistleblower that Mo built this terror restaurant without permit. How could I build a massive place in a festival ground which belongs to the city with no permits? Right. Plus, Mark Orgill, his buddy, was in charge of it.
Right.
So,
and it was his responsibility
yeah,
to secure
they
those
destroyed
permits?
my relationship
Okay.
with festival board, which is not good. And nobody would tell me what the truth is until recently, a year ago, we had to file a lawsuit against the festival board and do a couple deposition. We find out while Mark Orgill was running for city council, okay, he got he got paid $10,000 by these people, the board, to mess up with my plan. The plan that I submitted, okay, when they told me this, a couple things in here, which is the elevator shaft and also is not finished because we have to install elevator.
Right.
And then there's the AV room, which is no public access to it.
Right.
It's 6 square foot. It's pretty small.
Right.
This was built with no permit. I had no idea.
Right.
So I said, fine, what can we do to get this permit? And they told me, okay, the process is you got to come out with the plans for it and submit it for planning commission, after planning department approve it, and then we get you going.
Right.
So
Just to be clear, who paid him the $10,000?
the board, the festival board.
Okay.
And unfortunately, when the plan was approved, submitted for planning commission, the planning commission date was already set up. And then I got a call from city manager who said, well, we have to cancel your meeting. I said, why? Well, because festival is not agreeing your plans. But I met with them face to face. We went through, in fact, they want to add a little lift inside the theater they have.
Right.
And I was more than happy to because I'm doing the work anyway there, I'll build that for you guys.
Yeah.
We had that good relationship. He destroyed my relationship with these people for no reason, for his own pocket.
Right.
So he can receive $350,000 retirement? I mean, what kind of life these people have?
Right.
Honestly. And then he farther down. According to my research, right before he become obviously running, he was brought in by Miss Sue Kemp and a couple others and Joe Hanover to come up ways to see if they can beat that Measure Q RS. If
Right.
you remember Measure Q. Measure Q was about build-out and stuff,
Right.
correct? So Mr. Mark Orgill knows about my properties, correct?
Right.
So he goes in and says, oh, yeah, I know what we do. A 500 line of downtown, you cannot connect any more property. He knew I'm planning to build a museum hotel since 2014.
Right.
So he basically came up with the idea, and they came up with a resolution, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, 1675, Ordinance 1675,
Okay.
which, submitted for approval.
Right.
And I found out about it, and I said, why are you going after me? What did I do in here?
Right.
And that's when they couldn't get enough vote to approve. And guess what? Tony Eisman, who hates me the most, joined them to get this ordinance approved. Okay? And that's why I filed a lawsuit against this ordinance. So you cannot do that. You didn't even give me a chance. You just cannot do that. So luckily, we all joined together, and Major Q did not go through.
Right.
So that's fine. So this lawsuit is still sitting there. And then they go find my business partner, if he's going to be my business partner. The lawsuit is through Hotel Laguna. They say, well, Laguna Beach Company is one of my companies.
Right.
Well, they can go in and mess around with this lawsuit. I hope he doesn't do that, because if he does, then he has another problem with me on arbitration, right? So where we stand right now, waiting for that happens. And as far as you brought up Phil Khan, unfortunately, give it wrong advice to the police department
Okay.
and the city, because he knows more than anybody else as an attorney, people have tenancy right. He very well knows that.
Right.
So he should have told them, hey, Mo is here, he's a citizen and resident of this town. He has tenancy right. If you think this is your property, give me a court document. I'm more than happy to kick him out or let you do that. This happened in Riverside. They were trying to take over the 2 hotels of mine in Riverside.
Right.
The city attorney sent him a letter to us, CC to us, to them, and said, you cannot do this in here. You bring me a court document. This is how it should be.
So Riverside did something that our city attorney,
Our
Phil
own
Cohn,
city.
did not.
At Newport, same thing they were trying to do in Newport. They couldn't get that.
Right.
Only in
Laguna
Laguna.
Beach.
So I have a belief this is me. There's some cajon going on with the Mark and somebody here. I don't know. This is going to be subject of this lawsuit. There's going to be a lot of depositions. We're going to come up with this, but I don't want to accuse anything. This is, this may take 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know, but I'm hoping that the truth would come out.
And you're looking to get Mr. Cohn to be deposed.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And I want to go back to Tara for just a moment, if I can. One of, according the lawsuit also asserts that according to the lawsuit, one of Orgill's responsibilities for you was to lead the permitting and construction of the improvements that were going to be made to Tara. They included obtaining the permitting, as you mentioned, with regards to the AV room on Tara's property, and Orgill had misrepresented to your company that he had obtained the valid permits from the city for the AV room, and then you relied on those misrepresentations to contribute toward the construction.
Correct.
It was later discovered, according to the lawsuit, that Orgill had lied about the permits, and in fact the AV room was never approved, as you said. Was there any provision of the contract you had with him that held his feet to the fire or addressed incompetence or malfeasance on his part? Was that part of his contract with you?
Let me ask you, who would have known that AV room was built with no permit? Somebody who built it, correct?
Right.
Let's leave it there.
Okay.
At this time, what I like, if you don't mind, I just want to have, I have a love for this town. I really do. Me, my daughters, we love this town. We spend zillion of or fortune in this town to upgrade what we have.
You've spent your entire career building in this town.
Exactly.
Revitalizing the Hive.
Those people don't know. I started bringing back Royal Hawaiian to life. I worked with Mr. Scandarian on the plans to get it back, to remodel that. I purchased Hive Shopping Center, brought that back to life. It was 100% shut down, almost 90-something%.
Right.
Recreate our district by inquiring all the pieces and connect them together. And reopen Hotel Laguna. As you know, the first 2 levels that I opened before I go, I was under construction for the rooms when this mess unfortunately happened with me and my business partner.
Right.
I rebranded Holiday Inn name. I took that out, put the 14 West, and trying to get that going. It's going to be remodeled completely soon. Rebuilt Terra restaurants. I'm going to throw a number, unfortunately, here. I spent $6 million of my own money to build that. Right. And by the way, budget was 2.2. Mark Orgill doesn't even understand budget, but doesn't matter. Okay. I'm proud of that place. I really do, and did that it's a lease. I don't own that, correct? It's a long-term lease, 18 years, whatever at the time.
And it came in at $4 million over budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But all that, I did this for the love of the community. Right. What I like to do is, talk is cheap. You got to judge a man with what they do. And I want to just ask a question on some prominent people that they always show up at city council and speak. Michelle Mondo, Christy Miller, Nancy Swanson, Chris Katsumara, Anthony Fisk, MJ Brown. Tell me, what did you do for this town? Talk is cheap. You can go to city council and talk and prevent this, elected official from doing their work.
Right.
Built in nice promenade for us. You're stopping them. Those are cheap things to do. But tell me, when you reach your pocket and spend money in this town. Right. Thank you.
Right. Either you can talk the talk or walk the walk, is what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And you mentioned the Hotel Laguna. The Continuum group has gotten a hearing before the Planning Commission to put forth essentially the same plans that you had laid before them to complete renovations. But they're doing this while the case of ownership and management is still in the courts, with you having prevailed in the last 2 judgments. How do you see that?
I'm kind of disappointed of our city because they know this ownership is disputed. They know I sent a letter to the city and saying, hey, where arbitration is coming in May, it's pretty quick. We could have, we had permits to build the room. They stopped me from building the rooms. They could just continue that. The rooms were supposed to be open last September to the public. So they could have just continued that, correct?
Right.
I went to Planning Commission last year in January, and they asked me to come up with a paint, come up with what design in here. I mean, stuff. We did it. It was all ready to go. In March, we had the plan, which was complete. Planning Commission was planning people at the city. They were looking on it. Obviously, you have to work that piece first before you go to public.
Right.
So I haven't seen their plan. My contractor stopped by at the city, and the city planner had on technical problem. We don't have it up yet. I'm pretty surprised because you got to have something like that a couple of weeks in advance.
It's like a 21-day notice?
Yeah,
or something?
21-day notice. Everything has to be advanced. So it's not available yet until this Friday.
Okay.
And I guess next Wednesday is the Planning Commission. Hopefully it's something good. Everything, if they do things good, it's good for me too.
Right. Okay.
But I was hoping that city has this, kind of stay. They keep saying we stay out of it. This is civil. We don't want to be involved. But then I see they get involved. So this is what I don't like about it.
Right. They're straddling both sides of
Yes.
the fence, is what
Yes.
you're saying. Okay. We had several months ago, maybe a year ago or whatever, we had witnessed several workers. And you mentioned the people that come up and speak before council, and you mentioned the names of the people that
Correct.
always come up and speak against your
Yes.
projects and you and before council. We witnessed several workers address the city council about non-payment. Was this orchestrated, do you believe? And what was Mark Orgill's responsibility in that?
So Mark Orgill has set people he always uses. So Jim Callett is a contractor. In fact, he doesn't even have his own license, was suspended, so he works with other people's license.
Oh.
So he was the builder at Terra.
Okay.
So all the subs, 90% of them at least, work for him directly.
Okay.
So when this went over budget like that, he didn't pay people, and the contractor has to pay and then submit the bill for to get reimbursed.
Right.
So he wouldn't do that, unfortunately. That's why those people are screaming.
Right.
And I keep trying to say, hey, give me all the invoices. I got to find out why we're so, So ended up, we got some invoice from him, and at the end of the day, I paid those people to go away so we can later on figure out how we can resolve this. But at this time, I let him go.
Okay. And there was a case, or the part of this lawsuit further states that you had given Mark Orgill credit cards, company credit cards, and what happened with the credit cards?
Well, credit cards, he obviously had to buy things for the company,
Right.
so I never got into.
Did you get it? Did you receive invoices?
I assume he did. We had also Mike Orgill works for us, his brother, and he was in charge of collecting all the invoices, receipts, and making sure all submitted for accounting to pay.
Okay.
I didn't get involved much on that. I trusted Mike to do that. But after Mike left, that's when I guess, according to Mark himself, Dora got in submitting all this stuff. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying not to go there at this time
Right.
because all this is subject of the court.
Okay, so that's
So
a
we just leave
conversation
it
for a
there.
later date.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes.
Okay. All right. And regarding his representing to you that Mark Orgill, regarding his representing to you that he was a licensed contractor and assured you that he was adequately familiar with the permitting process. Wasn't it your responsibility to simply check to make sure whether or not he was a licensed contractor?
You're right. I should have too. But,
Right.
the guy is highly recommended by
Right.
some people in town, and I've seen 7 degrees there. In fact, when we were running all this problem with Terra, finally Dora said, welcome to the way Mark Orgill builds. He builds, he get to demolish, put it back again because obviously it's not good because we were lots of back and forth to get the place done.
Okay.
But you know what? All those is the past. I honestly, I was going to put everything behind us after he got elected. I could have bring most of this stuff through when he was running. I
Right.
decided not to get involved. I wanted the best luck for him, but he himself didn't help himself for what he done this 1 year against me and my family. This is just bad.
The dumbest question I'll probably ever ask you, is there an opportunity for reconciliation or a negotiation of any kind here?
You know, I believe in a society that you always talk, even to people that are adversary. Okay. And I hope, just like our president and president of Russia sit down and talk to solve the issue, correct?
Right.
There's no point. And I already sat down with him once, say, let's solve this one.
Right.
But he has gone farther and farther. He's just trying to do nothing but destroy me. And I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I knew. He knows himself he's not entitled for 350. And he actually submitted a document which is part of that lawsuit. If you look in the pages, he says it's set up for $470,000. I don't know if that's the accurate number.
Right.
I don't know. But I know in some of the court proceeding, his attorney is a young lady. He shows up on the other side. She goes sit down with Continuum people.
Okay.
So they're in cajon.
Right.
That is
Right.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
You're asking me how I can settle with him? I don't know. At this time, I'll let this play. But being a city council and collecting people from people, I don't think is cool.
Okay. All right. And I think the question that most Laguna Beach residents and Laguna Beach citizens have is the outcome of this, and what are you hoping in the coming however long the court cases take, the arbitration case and the lawsuits, however long it takes, what are you hoping is the eventual outcome? That the Continuum Group is booted from your properties and
Yes.
and you're back in Hotel Laguna, back at the Hive, back at the festival grounds?
Well, obviously, this is up for legal
Right.
conclusion. You're asking
Right.
what I'm hoping, so I can say speak
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
We have a binding arbitration,
Right.
and they didn't want to attend that. There's motion after motion. They want to get out of it because they know what they did,
Right.
correct? So all I'm asking is rescinding the contract. So that means there is no contract. Everything goes back to where it was before I started, correct,
Right.
with them. So in that case, there's an accounting issue. So if they have put any money, any loans to the company, minus what they have received, this is a public record. They have borrowed over $120 million on my properties. So on the portfolio.
Right.
So they haven't given me one piece of document accounting. They just don't. They don't show any of these loan documents, who signed on it. It just doesn't. I only have the very first one, which is subject of this lawsuit.
Right.
So at this time, I'm just waiting patiently
Right.
for arbitration to go through.
Right.
A good thing is a binding, and I'm going to bind with it. Whatever that is, it's time to put this aside and go forward.
Okay.
And I want to continue with my projects for this town and hopefully retire after that.
Okay. All right. And I'm as I let the audience know that there's 7 counts that are part of this lawsuit. We've just covered 1 or 2 of them today. I'd love for you to come back and we talk about some of the others down the road. But you mentioned what you've done for this community. And one of the things you've done for this community is the Honarkar Foundation for Arts and Culture and the revitalization of the building on 298 Broadway, a fantastic space.
Thank you.
And I mentioned this when the George Dubin exhibit started off, and we have another magnificent exhibit there now. You're raising the bar of the culture that we experience, of the art that we experience in this town. Tell us the importance of that to you.
I always had the idea to get this foundation going. It was actually formed 3 years ago, but because of all this, we slowed down, and I wanted to get this done at 7 degrees because we own that. So it happened to be that this building, magnificent building, I'm part of UCI alumni, and we had, when Bach had this beautiful collection in here, I came in through UCI people and toured the building and see the collection. Collection was beautiful, but the building was just amazing inside of it. And from outside, you don't see much.
It doesn't look, and
it's
the
just
outside
that
looks.
door, the rocking door is beautiful.
The outside looks nothing like the inside.
Yeah. So I always talk about it, and the same broker that I inquired 7 Degrees and Sunset Cove and a bunch of properties in town, he knows me. he called me up and said, Mo, you keep talking about this building, but I have the listing. You want it? So I said, of course I want it. So I got in and actually on time got the building, and, art is in my blood, and I want to help again. It's not just art, it's the culture. I want to make sure nonprofit can come in, have some fundraiser there for themselves. It's just helping the community. Having 2 or 3 event place in town, I always was hit by nonprofit. They want to do some functions, but they can't afford that kind of, sit down dinner and all those things. But we can do a small one for them in here, and it's all nonprofit. And I'm hoping this would be another gift to this community.
Well, much like the Hive and much like your renovation of other things, this is already proven a gift, by the way. And the fact that, I'll just say this, the fact that George Dubin, an artist in this community who had been overlooked for a good portion of his 40-year career, finally got a really professional and well-done show and exhibit done there. I think the community needs to thank you for that itself.
It was amazing.
Yes.
That was amazing. By the way, I have something interesting to tell you.
Sure.
So Genevieve, who manages the
Genevieve
place
Williams.
She's a beautiful work. I mean, just amazing. Yeah, she was trying to sign up for art walk.
Okay.
And she said, well, we should do that. I said, fine. So she called this lady and said, hey, this is what we want to do. And the lady called her and said, no, you cannot. As this lady talking, Genevieve, my other old employees there, say, isn't that voice of Dora Orgill? So Dora is in charge of Artwalk, didn't let her to add this property into the Artwalk. I was just laughing and said, oh my God, these people go that far?
Right. Well, it's a magnificent space, and so far the 2 exhibits that have been through there, and this next exhibit, Gerard's exhibit that goes on through the 18th.
Beautiful. It is amazing. Can you see that? Just gorgeous.
We had him on Monday morning. We spoke with him on Monday morning, and I had never really, I'd never looked at his art really until actually knowing that I was going to have him on the show. An amazing artist.
It's beautiful. And they're going to go through this coming weekend, and then we're going to go dark for a few weeks because they already started to install Tony the Lamp.
Okay.
And some of the work is just amazing. There's one of them they were installing yesterday. It's over 14 feet high. Wow. I mean, I'm so glad this building is so it has a high ceiling that they can get that done. That's going to be amazing. Actually, that's going on. I think the opening beginning of March, and March 7, which is an art walk. We are not registered. But, you guys welcome to come. I'm sorry that we are not part of it.
That's okay. It's at 298 Broadway. It is the building with the absolutely beautiful artistic front door. If you went to the Dubin exhibit, then you know how magnificent it is inside. If you haven't gone yet and seen it, this next exhibit, Gerard's exhibit, is there until the 18th of this month. Yes. Any chance of extending that, maybe? Or no, you got to go
They're
dark.
already installed it. If you come on the backside of because he's taking one of the rooms, and the rest is getting installation right now.
Okay.
It is a major job. I didn't know to install all these things.
Well, you've got it's a great space. I love the fact that there's a projector and screen, and the lights are state of the art. You could actually, if you're a nonprofit and that's where you want to host an event, that's a good spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you again for coming in today. We appreciate you and your time with us, and thank you for what you've done. And again, I said raising the bar of what cultural and art is in this community. That means a lot. Thank you, Mr. Honarkar.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you for inviting me.
We'll look forward to having you back at some time. Thank you. 9:11 the time. It's the Mornings with Ed show on the all-new Voice of Laguna. Coming up in a few minutes, the Morning's Personal Stash.